Luta continua, a luta busa, a luta busa, a luta continua. Victoria, Victoria, Asata,
Victoria,
Victoria, Asata,
Victoria,
Victoria, Busa, Victoria, Busa, Victoria, Asata.
You will recall that when the incidents of police brutality first became topical and Nigerians decided to protest against it all of us joined without hesitation. At the start of this protest, everyone was focused on issues while highlighting the need to call operatives of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad unit to order with the demand that the unit must be scrapped. It was reassuring that the federal government and the Inspector General of Police were responsive by immediately scrapping SARS. Further agitation from protesters saw to it that the government agreed to a 5-point demand from protesters. These demands were geared towards wholesomely reforming the entire Nigerian policing system. From the way we see it, the demands that were tabled included items that should be dealt with immediately on the short term, mid-term, and long term. As outlined, we realize that it will take time for each set of demand to be implemented, depending on whether it is something that will be done immediately or something that will cover a period of months or years. The logic is that protesters will then allow the government time to implement these demanded changes. This perhaps informed the decision of some people to drop out of the protest because they want the government to have time to respond to the things that they have asked for. This does not in any way negate the rights of those who decided that they will continue to protest. In fact, we seem that they now move beyond the demand for police reform to include other things. Some of them are even asking for the sack of the government, which was not something that was originally on the table. What this means is that serious-minded people return to their legitimate businesses and activities while waiting to see how the government implement the changes that they have demanded. From the way we look at it, this has made those who are still protesting to change their tactics by doing things to force others to become part of the protest. We now see them increasingly blocking roads in a way that prevents people from getting to their workplaces, from getting to their places of businesses, and even in some instances from accessing life-saving treatment. In Abuja, for instance, protesters obstructed the airport road, knowing that it is a major access for people traveling out of the city and heading to the airport to catch their flights. A particularly sad outcome from this was the case of the woman reportedly in labor who died because she could not get to the hospital for life-saving intervention. In the same Abuja city, there are reported incidents of motorists getting their vehicles smashed by the unruly protesters. In Osun State, there was the sad incident of protesters attacking the state governor. They then went on rampage and burned down a mall in the state capital. In Benin City, Edo State, protesters broke into 2 prisons and set free inmates that include hardened criminals. They killed 2 police officers and set numerous properties on fire. They also set up bonfires, obstructed free flow of traffic, and serially manhandled security operatives. In Ibadan State, protesters, in other cases, The information we are getting is that protesters are randomly shooting at people, killing them, depriving them of their lives, apparently in their bid to frame law enforcement agencies to be responsible for killing protesters. This perverted strategy is intended to make the government appear as being repressive and the law enforcement agencies as engaging in human rights abuses. In reality, it is the protesters that are now involved in all these human rights abuses. They are the ones who obstruct people from having free access to move around. They are the ones who prevent people from seeking their daily livelihood. They are the ones beating people up. They are the ones destroying people's properties. And they are the ones depriving people of their means of livelihood. Where are the ones hacking into people's digital accounts and publishing private information of public office holders and government employees, thereby depriving people of their right to privacy. With the coalition of civil society groups numbering over 100 are therefore saying that EndSARS protesters must stop the growing cases of human rights abuses that are being recorded at their protests. We cannot be campaigning against right abuses and then become guilty of things that we are against. We like to conclude this briefing by stating that we are calling on leaders of all thought all over the world to prevail on EndSARS protesters to respect the rights of other Nigerian citizens. We further demand that they prevail on the government to change its approach of allowing some people run riot simply because they are hiding under the identity of youth to protest. The government must step in to bring in law and order and also restore sanity to the protest, while the protesters continue to interfere with the ordinary citizen and stopping people from going about their legitimate businesses. This is most unfair, inhuman, and totally unacceptable. We call on the international community, the US ambassadors to Nigeria, the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, and all men of good conscience to call the errant members of these protests to order. We fear that these innocent citizens will be forced to defend themselves if nothing